My mother spent 20 years calling me the failure child. Now that I'm a millionaire and my golden boy brother is in prison, suddenly she remembers I exist. At my college graduation, my mother didn't show up. She called that morning to say she couldn't miss my brother Ryland's promotion party. He just made junior partner at his accounting firm at 26. You understand, right, Trent? This is a really big deal for him. I understood perfectly. I've been understanding my entire life. I'm Trent, 29M, founder and CEO of a software company you've probably heard of. Last month I was featured on the cover of Forbes 30 Under 30. 3 weeks ago, my company went public. I'm worth about $30 million on paper, probably more depending on how the stock moves. My mother has no idea. She hasn't spoken to me in 7 years. Let me back up to when it started, because it didn't begin at graduation. It began when I was 8 years old and Ryland was 10, and my mother introduced us to her book club friends like this. This is Ryland, he's in the gifted program and just won the science fair. And this is Trent, he tries his best. I remember the pity in those women's faces, the way they patted my head like I was broken. Ryland wasn't just the golden child. He was the sun, and I was a distant, dim planet nobody bothered to look at. He got straight A's, I got B's and the occasional A- that was never quite good enough. He played varsity soccer. I played JV basketball until I quit junior year because my mother never came to games anyway. He went to prom with the homecoming queen. I went with a friend who needed a date to avoid going alone. Every family gathering, every holiday dinner, every casual conversation with neighbors, my mother had a script. Ryland's achievements were recited like scripture. My existence was explained apologetically. Ryland just got accepted to state with a full academic scholarship. Trent is, well, you know how some kids are late bloomers. I wasn't a late bloomer. I was interested in things she didn't understand. I taught myself to code at 12. Built my first functioning app at 14. Spent hours in online communities learning about software architecture and user experience design. But code wasn't real to her. It wasn't a trophy she could show off at dinner parties. When I told her I wanted to study computer science, she actually laughed. Honey, you're not exactly the math type. Maybe something more practical. Ryland's going into accounting, very stable. I applied to colleges across the country. Got into a decent state school in California 3,000 miles from our Massachusetts suburb. The distance wasn't an accident. My mother cried when I said I was going. Why so far? Ryland went to state and he's doing wonderfully. Can't you just stay close to home? I need to figure out who I am without being compared to Ryland every single day. She looked at me like I'd slapped her. I don't compare you. I love you both equally. That's the lie parents tell themselves. That equal love means identical treatment. But love isn't about what you say, it's about where you put your attention, your pride, your time. I left for California with 2 suitcases and a laptop. My mother threw a going-away party where she spent an hour talking about Ryland's internship at a Big 4 accounting firm. I don't think anyone asked me a single question about my plans. College was freedom. Nobody knew me as Ryland's disappointing brother. I could be just Trent, the guy who stayed up until 3 a.m. debugging code, who had ideas about how software could solve real problems, who actually had something to contribute. Junior year, my roommate Noah and I started building an app in our dorm room. It was supposed to be a class project. We kept going after the semester ended, spent the summer refining it, built something genuinely useful. By senior year, we had investors interested, real money, real backing. We dropped out 3 months before graduation to pursue it full time. I called my mother to tell her. The conversation lasted 4 minutes. You're dropping out, Trent, you're so close to finishing. Mom, we have investors. This is a real opportunity. Ryland finished his degree. He says credentials matter. This isn't about Ryland. I'm just saying you've always had trouble seeing things through. Maybe you should finish and do this as a hobby. I hung up. Didn't call back. Graduation day came anyway. I still got my degree. The school was flexible once they understood what we were building. My mother didn't come. Ryland's promotion party was that same weekend, and according to her voicemail, you understand, right? This is a really big deal for him. We'll celebrate yours later. We never did. That was 7 years ago. 7 years of building something real. 7 years of no contact except the Christmas card I sent that first year returned to sender with moved, no forwarding address written across it in her handwriting. She hadn't moved. She just didn't want to hear from me. The company grew. We hired smart people. Built something users actually needed, made revenue, made profit, got bigger investors, expanded. 2 years ago we were valued at $200 million. Last year, $500 million. This year we went public. The Forbes profile ran 3 weeks ago. Professional photos, interview about being a self-made entrepreneur, the whole thing. My face on the cover. Net worth published. It was surreal and validating and empty all at once. 2 days after the magazine hit stands, my phone started ringing. Unknown number with my hometown area code. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. Trent, honey, it's Mom. I saw the article, the Forbes article. I can't believe. I mean, I always knew you were smart, but this is incredible. I'm so proud of you. Please call me back. I just want to hear your voice. I deleted it. She called again the next day and the next, each voicemail more desperate. Trent, please, I know it's been a while, but you're still my son. I miss you. I don't understand why you won't talk to me. I've always supported you. Please just call me back. I want to be part of your life. I blocked the number. Here's what she doesn't know, what she didn't bother to find out before that Forbes article. The same week my company went public, Rylan was arrested. Embezzlement. $200,000 from his accounting firm over 3 years. Systematic theft from client accounts. He pleaded guilty 2 weeks ago. 5 years in federal prison starting next month. The golden child isn't so golden anymore. And suddenly the failure child is worth noticing. I found out about Rylan from a friend back home, Marin. We'd stayed in touch loosely over the years. She called me after seeing my Forbes profile. Trent, holy shit, I had no idea you'd done all this. Nobody from home did. I didn't exactly advertise. Your mom must be losing her mind with pride. I laughed. It sounded bitter even to me. Haven't talked to her in 7 years. Silence on Marin's end. Then, oh, that explains some things. What things? Your brother got arrested. It's been all over town. Embezzlement. Your mom's been a wreck about it. The shame, the gossip. Everyone's been asking her why she never mentioned she had another son, especially now that you're famous. The irony was so thick I could taste it. She told people at her book club she only had one son, Marin continued. After Rylan got arrested, someone showed her your Forbes article. She had a meltdown, started calling everyone, rewriting history, claiming she always knew you'd be successful, that she always believed in you. She literally told me I wasn't the math type when I wanted to study computer science. I believe you, but she's telling a different story now. We hung up. I sat in my office, glass walls, city view, everything I'd built, and felt absolutely nothing. The success didn't fix anything. The money didn't heal the wound. The validation from Forbes and investors and users didn't replace a mother who showed up. I'd spent my whole life trying to prove I was worth paying attention to. I'd succeeded by every external measure, and the only reason she noticed was because her other option was now in prison. Reddit, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Part of me wants to answer her calls and let her grovel. Part of me wants to stay silent forever. Part of me wants to send her a Forbes cover with a note, still not good enough. But mostly I just feel tired. Tired of caring. Tired of the 8-year-old in me who still wants his mother to be proud of him. What would you do? Edit, to everyone asking why I didn't tell my family about my success. I stopped trying to get their attention in college. Once I went no contact, their opinion stopped mattering to my daily life. The success was for me, not for them. It's been 3 months since the Forbes article. 3 months since my mother started her Rewrite History campaign. I thought ignoring her would be enough. I was wrong. Last Tuesday, I was in a board meeting when my assistant knocked. She looked panicked. I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a situation in the lobby. Your mother is here with people. They have cameras. I excused myself, took the elevator down, walked into my building's lobby to find my mother, Delaney Pierce, dressed like she was going to a garden party, standing with a local news crew from her hometown. She'd brought reporters to my office building. The moment she saw me, her face transformed into this expression of maternal pride I'd never seen directed at me before. She actually had tears in her eyes. "Trent, oh honey, look at you. So professional, so successful." The cameras were rolling. "What are you doing here? I wanted to see where my son works. I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. I've been telling everyone about your amazing company." The reporter stepped forward, microphone out. "Mr. Vance, your mother says you two have always been close. She's been sharing stories about how she encouraged your interest in technology from a young age." "That's not accurate." My voice was flat, professional. "I don't have a relationship with my family of origin. I haven't spoken to my mother in 7 years. My mother's smile flickered. "Trent, don't be silly. I know we've had some time apart because you've been so busy building this wonderful company, but we've always been close. You didn't come to my college graduation because my brother had a promotion party." The smile was gone now. The cameras were still rolling. "You told people you only had one son for 20 years. You told your book club that after my brother got arrested. Someone showed you a Forbes article and suddenly you remembered I existed. That's not. You're here because your golden child is in prison and I'm your only option for social rehabilitation. This isn't about me. This is about you." My mother's face went red. The reporter looked between us, clearly realizing this wasn't the heartwarming story they'd been sold. "I'm going to ask you to leave," I said. "Security will escort you out if necessary." "Trent, please, don't do this in front of. You brought reporters to my workplace without my consent. You tried to publicly claim credit for success you spent my entire childhood telling me I'd never achieve. This is exactly who you are." I nodded to security. 2 guards stepped forward. "Ma'am, you need to leave the property." My mother grabbed my arm. Her nails dug in through my suit jacket. "You're embarrassing me after everything I did for you. You didn't do anything for me. You did things to me. There's a difference." Security escorted her out. The reporters followed, cameras down, clearly realizing they'd been manipulated. I went back upstairs, sat in my office with the door closed for 20 minutes just breathing. Noah, my business partner, found me there. "You okay?" She brought reporters to our office. I saw the security footage. That was brutal. She was trying to use me to rebuild her image. She stood there lying about our relationship on camera. Noah sat down. "You know what she was doing, right? You became useful to her again. That's all this is." "I know. Do you? Because you look like you're about to cry." I wasn't about to cry, but my hands were shaking. "I spent my whole childhood trying to matter to her," I said. "Trying to be worth her attention. And now that I've succeeded beyond anything she could have imagined, she shows up with a camera crew to take credit. She's toxic, man. Always has been. Some people can't be fixed." The next day, I had my attorney draft a statement. Released it through our company's PR team. "I have no relationship with Delaney Pierce. Any claims she makes about our relationship or her role in my success are false. I built my company through my own work with the support of my business partner and team. I ask that she cease using my name and success for her personal benefit." It went out on our company website, our social media, everywhere. Professional, final. My mother tried calling from different numbers. I blocked them all. She sent letters to my office. My assistant returned them unopened. Then last week, Marin called again. "Your mother's having a breakdown. She's telling everyone you've been brainwashed by success, that you've forgotten your roots." My roots were being told I'd never amount to anything. "I know, but she's spinning this as you abandoning her in her time of need. Some people are buying it. Let them. Anyone who believes her doesn't know me anyway." "There's something else," Marin said. "She's been showing up places. Your brother's sentencing hearing last week, she brought photos of you. Tried to tell the judge about your success to balance out Ryland's crimes, like having one successful son erases the other one stealing money." The image was so absurd I almost laughed. "Did it work?" Judge told her to sit down. "Ryland starts his sentence next month. 5 years federal prison." After we hung up, I pulled up photos from that sentencing hearing. Someone had posted them online. There was my mother in the courtroom, holding a printout of my Forbes cover, trying to convince strangers that her family wasn't a complete disaster. Noah saw me looking at them. "You feel bad for her." No, I feel bad for the kid I was who would have done anything for her approval. I feel bad that it took me this long to realize she's never going to be capable of being the mother I needed. You know she's going to escalate. I know. You ready for that? I thought about it. About the 8-year-old who was patted on the head with pity. About the teenager whose achievements were apologized for. About the college student whose graduation wasn't worth attending. About the man I'd become who built something real and valuable without any of them. Yeah, I said, I'm ready. Because here's what I've learned. Success doesn't heal childhood wounds. Money doesn't make your mother love you. External validation doesn't fix internal damage, but boundaries do protect you. Distance does preserve your peace. And indifference is more powerful than anger. My mother wanted me to be successful so she could take credit. When I wasn't performing up to her standards, she erased me. Now that I'm exceeding them, she wants back in. But I'm not a trophy. I'm not a social rehabilitation project. I'm not a way to make her look better at book club. I'm just a person who learned to build things without her, and that's enough. Edit. The statement was approved by our legal team before release. And yes, I'm in therapy, have been since college. This stuff doesn't get processed without professional help. I should have anticipated this. After the office incident and the public statement, I should have known she'd find my home address. Last Friday night, I was working from home when my doorbell rang at 8 p.m. I live in a gated community with security, so I assumed it was a neighbor or a delivery. I opened the door to find my mother standing there with a casserole dish and tears streaming down her face. Please don't close the door, please. I just need 5 minutes. I should have closed it, should have called security immediately. But there's something about seeing your mother cry that bypasses logic, even when you know the tears are manipulation. How did you get past security? I told them I was your mother, that it was an emergency. Please, Trent, can I just come in for a minute? Against every instinct screaming at me to refuse, I stepped aside. She walked into my house, the house I bought with money I earned, decorated with things I chose, built as a sanctuary away from people exactly like her. She looked around, taking inventory, probably calculating the value of everything. It's beautiful, you've done so well for yourself. You have 5 minutes, say what you came to say. She set the casserole on my kitchen counter. I made your favorite, remember? Chicken and rice casserole with the cream of mushroom soup. That was Ryland's favorite. I was allergic to mushrooms until I was 12. Her face did this thing, a flicker of confusion, then correction. Right, of course, I meant I made what I remembered. You don't remember anything about me. That's the problem. She sat down at my kitchen table without being invited. That's not fair. I remember so much. I remember teaching you to ride a bike. Remember taking you to your first day of school. Remember. You remember generic parent things. You don't remember anything specific to who I actually am, what I care about, what I wanted, what I needed. I was a good mother. You were a mother who had a favorite and I wasn't it. She started crying harder. Real tears this time, or good enough imitation that I couldn't tell. I made mistakes. I know I did, but Ryland needed more attention. He was struggling even when he looked successful. He had anxiety, depression. I was trying to support him. So you ignored me. I thought you were fine. You were always so independent, so self-sufficient. I thought you didn't need me. I was a child. Every child needs their mother. I just learned early that I wasn't going to get that from you, so I stopped asking. She reached across the table for my hand. I pulled it back. Trent, I'm here now. I want to make this right. I want us to have a relationship. I want to be part of your life. Why now, specifically now? Because I realized. When Ryland got arrested, when everything fell apart, I realized I'd lost both my sons. I can't get back the time with you, but I can try to build something new. It sounded good, almost believable. Then she added, and I think we could help each other. You've built this amazing company and I have connections in the community. I know people who could benefit from your services. I could help promote your business, introduce you to potential clients. We could be a team. There it was. You want to use my success to rebuild your social standing. That's not. You lost your position in your community because Ryland's in prison and everyone found out you pretended I didn't exist. Now you want to trade access to me for social rehabilitation. I want a relationship with my son. No, you want a relationship with my success. There's a difference. She stood up. Why are you being so cruel? I'm trying here. I'm apologizing. I'm reaching out. You're negotiating. You showed up with a casserole you remembered wrong and a business proposal. That's not a mother wanting her son back. That's a social climber who lost her ladder and needs a new one. After everything I did for you, you didn't do anything for me. You tolerated my existence while pouring everything into Rylan. And now he's in prison and I'm successful, and suddenly you remember you have another son. Her face changed. The tears stopped. The mask dropped just a little. Fine, you want me to say it, I'm struggling. Everyone in town knows about Rylan. They know I lied about only having one son. They know I missed all your achievements while praising his. I can't show my face at book club anymore. I can't go to church without people whispering. My own sister won't return my calls. So you want me to fix it? I want us to fix it together. You could come home for a weekend. We could have dinner at the club. Let people see we have a good relationship. Let them know that I raised a successful son too. I'm not a prop for your redemption arc. You're my son. Only when it's convenient. Only when you need something from me. The rest of the time I was the kid you were embarrassed by. She grabbed her purse. You're going to regret this. When I'm gone and you realize you threw away your only family over grudges. I threw away my family 7 years ago when I realized they'd already thrown me away. I'm just being honest about it now. Rylan was right about you. You always were selfish. Rylan's in prison for stealing. I'm here because I built something real. But sure, I'm the selfish one. She left, forgot the casserole. I threw it away without trying it. Called Noah afterward. She showed up at my house. Jesus, what did she want? A partnership. She promotes my business to her social circle. I rehabilitate her reputation by pretending we have a relationship. That's psychotic. That's my mother. You okay? I'm fine, better than fine. I finally see her clearly. No more 8-year-old hoping she'll love me. No more teenager trying to earn her attention. Just clarity. She's going to keep trying. Let her. I've got good security and better boundaries. Marin called this morning. Your mom's telling people you threw her out of your house and curse it at her. I didn't curse. I was extremely civil. I believe you, but she's playing the victim. My successful son rejected me. She's getting sympathy from people who don't know the real story. Anyone who believes her version doesn't know me. And I'm okay with that. Because here's what I've finally learned. You can't win with people like my mother. If you're struggling, you're a disappointment. If you're successful, you're useful. There's no version where you're just loved for being yourself. So you stop trying. You build your life without them. You succeed for yourself, not to prove anything to them. And when they come back trying to claim credit or extract benefit, you shut the door. The 8-year-old in me wanted her to show up at my house with genuine remorse. Wanted her to say, I was wrong, I hurt you, I'm sorry. The 29-year-old in me knows she never will, because that would require seeing me as a person instead of a tool, and she's not capable of that. My worth isn't determined by her acknowledgement. My success isn't diminished by her absence. My life is better without her toxicity in it. The golden child she poured everything into is in federal prison. The black sheep she ignored built something real, and she can't accept that the child she neglected turned out to be the one worth investing in all along. Edit. No, I didn't eat the casserole. Yes, I changed my security protocols. And yes, I'm still in therapy processing all of this. This stuff runs deep. It's been a year since the Forbes article. A year since my mother discovered I existed and decided I was worth claiming. Time for a final update. After she showed up at my house, I got a restraining order. Temporary at first, then made permanent when she violated it by sending letters through other family members. She's legally required to stay 500 feet away from me, my home, and my office. She's respected it technically, but she's found creative workarounds. Last Christmas, she sent gifts to my office. Expensive ones, designer watch, high-end tech gadgets, each one with a card. I love you, Mom. I donated everything to charity unopened. The donation receipts went to my accountant. Valentine's Day, she sent flowers to 5 different women in my building, hoping one of them would mention it to me. When that didn't work, she tried sending them to my business partner's wife. Emma, yes, I married her, more on that later, intercepted them and sent them to a nursing home. Mother's Day, she bought a full-page ad in her hometown newspaper. A letter to me. Public apology, public plea for forgiveness, public claim that she just wants her son back. I didn't respond to any of it. Marin kept me updated on the hometown drama. Apparently, my mother's desperate attempts to reconnect with me became the new gossip. Some people felt sorry for her, the poor mother rejected by her successful son. Others saw through it, especially after people started sharing their own memories of how she'd introduced us at various events over the years. Remember how she used to say Trent was her late bloomer? I was at that graduation party when she said he was still figuring things out. She literally told me once that he was not the academic type like Rylan. The court of public opinion finally caught up with her, not because of anything I did, but because enough people remembered her actual behavior versus her current narrative. Rylan's still in prison. 18 months down, 42 to go. I haven't visited, haven't written, haven't acknowledged his existence. My mother tried to use his incarceration to guilt me. Sent me a letter through her attorney apparently that doesn't violate the restraining order if it's legal correspondence. The letter claimed Rylan was depressed, struggling, asking about me. I had my attorney send back a single sentence. Trent Vance has no relationship with Rylan Cross and requests no further contact regarding this matter. The company's doing well, better than well. We've doubled our valuation, expanded internationally. I've been featured in 3 more major publications, given keynote speeches at tech conferences, built something I'm genuinely proud of. None of it fixed the wound my mother left, but I've stopped expecting it to. Emma and I got married 6 months ago. Small ceremony, close friends only. No family from my side because I don't have family anymore. Her parents walked us both down the aisle. It was perfect. My mother found out through social media someone Emma knew posted photos. She tried to call Emma's parents, claiming she had a right to be there. Emma's father, who's never met my mother but knows the full story, told her, "You had the right to be in his life for 29 years. You chose not to exercise it. That right has expired. I love my father-in-law." Last week, something shifted. I was going through old files and found a box of things from childhood. Report cards my mother never signed. Art projects she never hung up. A certificate from a coding competition I won at 15. I'd been so proud, brought it home, and she'd glanced at it and said, "That's nice, honey," before going back to discussing Ryland's soccer tournament. I sat there looking at this evidence of a childhood spent being invisible, and I didn't feel angry anymore. I just felt sad for that kid. Then I felt grateful, because that kid grew up, built something real, found people who actually see him, married someone who shows up when she says she will, created a life where his worth isn't determined by one person's inability to appreciate him. Noah found me in my office with the box. "You okay?" "Yeah, I'm good, just processing." "You ever think about reaching out to her, now that you've had time?" "No, because time doesn't fix what was always broken. She didn't love me wrong, she just didn't love me enough. And that's not something I can fix by being more successful or more forgiving or more anything." You're at peace with it. I'm at peace with the fact that I'll never have the mother I needed, but I have the life I built. And that's enough. My mother made one final attempt last month, showed up at a conference where I was speaking, sat in the audience, stood up during Q&A and asked, "What advice do you have for parents who want to support their children's entrepreneurial dreams?" Security escorted her out before I could answer, but I thought about the question later. The advice would be, see your children for who they actually are, not who you want them to be. Value consistency over flash. Pay attention to the quiet kid who's building something real instead of just the loud kid who's performing for your approval. Show up to their graduations even when the other kid has a promotion party. Remember their allergies. Love all your children, not just the one who makes you look good at book club. But she'll never hear that advice, because she'll never see herself as the problem. 3 days ago, I got a letter, not from my mother, from Rylan, prison address handwritten. I debated for hours whether to open it. Finally did. It was short. "Trent, I don't expect forgiveness, But I want you to know that Mom was wrong about you. I always knew it, even when I was benefiting from being the favorite. You were always smarter, more driven, more real. I was just better at playing the game she wanted. I'm sorry I never said that before. I'm sorry for a lot of things. You don't owe me a response. I just wanted you to know. I read it 3 times, felt something crack in my chest. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation. Just acknowledgement that the golden child knew the game was rigged too. I haven't responded. I don't know if I will. But I kept the letter. Because here's what I've learned over this year. You can't make people love you correctly. You can't achieve enough success to heal childhood neglect. You can't fix broken relationships by being more forgiving or more available or more understanding. All you can do is build a life where your worth isn't determined by people who never saw you clearly in the first place. I'm worth $30 million on paper. But my actual worth has nothing to do with that number. It's measured in the friends who show up, the wife who chose me, the business partner who believes in me, the life I built from nothing with people who see me as a whole person. My mother wanted the daughter who visited more in the last story in mine. She wanted the son who performed better. But the child she ignored turned out to be the one worth investing in. And now she wants credit for my success. She wants to be part of my story. She is part of my story. She's the obstacle I overcame, the doubt I disproved, the voice I learned to ignore. She spent 20 years calling me the failure child. Now I'm successful and she wants to rewrite history, but history doesn't get rewritten. It gets learned from. I learned that family isn't guaranteed love. I learned that some people only see you as useful or useless, never as human. I learned that the best revenge is building a life so solid that their absence doesn't shake your foundation. My mother's still trying, still sending gifts through intermediaries, still playing victim at book club, still waiting for me to come running back. She'll be waiting forever, because I'm not the failure child anymore. I'm not even the success child. I'm just a person who built something real without her, and that's the most complete victory I could ask for. To everyone out there who's the black sheep, who's constantly compared, who's told they'll never amount to anything while their sibling gets all the praise, you don't need their validation. Build anyway. Succeed anyway. Become yourself anyway. And when they come back trying to claim credit, you'll have the clarity to say, "You don't get to be proud of me now. You didn't earn that right." My mother spent my whole childhood telling everyone I was the failure while bragging about my brother. Now she wants everyone to know I'm her success story while pretending my brother doesn't exist. Funny how the script flips when the golden child's gold turns out to be stolen. But I'm not her redemption arc. I'm not her social rehabilitation project. I'm not proof that she was a good mother all along. I'm just proof that some people succeed not because of their family but despite them. And that's enough. Edit. Thank you all for the support. For those asking, yes, therapy helped immensely. Yes, I'm happy in my marriage. No, I probably won't respond to Rylan. And no, I don't regret the restraining order. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is make sure toxic people can't access you. Take care of yourselves, Reddit. You deserve better than people who only see your worth when you become successful.